Talk that. Talk that. Could talk that. Talk that. Yeah, talk that.
Check. It's your boy, Willie Waters.
G-Stat, DVD.
And welcome back. This Talk Dat, episode 29. And today, man, for y'all, we got a special guest in the house, man.
Yeah, we got a special guest. Yeah, he's one of the few individuals I truly respect as a Bahamian artist / entertainer. So like when you as a person that strive for greatness in life, it's easy to see others that do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like you notice the people that try to get better, that actually get better. You know what I mean? You relate to the ones that actually believe. So y'all make some noise for the one and only Bahamian Trae.
Much respect,
Trae,
bro. Much respect for that, bro. Appreciate that.
You know how it go.
Happy to be here for sure.
Yes, I.
Happy to be there. And I wouldn't say I didn't think that this was gonna happen, but I remember when you hit me up and I was like, Alana, boy, I know when I get up there and I look at it, bro.
Yeah.
That's how it's be, but that's how the father's wake, though.
Real.
Yeah. Once you put it in the air, man, she just come together, though.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Got to. But first of all, let's start off with, tell the people where you from.
From the 242, dog. From the 242. Abaco born specifically, but I based in Nassau now. I've been living in Nassau most of my life, but I be going back and forth to Abaco. But yeah, that's where I from.
Right.
That's where I represent.
Right.
So speaking of Abaco, I don't know if y'all see.
I know exactly what you said, boy.
I know if y'all see a couple of videos of them going viral right now, but y'all see what's going on down there?
I most certainly see that, very much. Very much.
What you got to say? Like, what you think about that?
But if you want me to be real, but I see some people, because now you know it's international news. I see some people was like, I literally just saw a post and someone was like, y'all, congratulations, Abaco. Y'all make the Bahamas look bad again on the international series. I'm like, to who though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To who? Because I feel like who really tapped in, morally or into this understanding is so what, bro?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I promise you, if they didn't have to do that, I don't think that they would have just been out there taking things, bro. And then I ain't seeing much people talk about the environmental impact that barge about to have being on a reef, bro. It's a reef and that's a barge. Let's be real for a second when it comes to that. And when it comes to moving things, Pablo boat them still in Exuma under the water. Let's see if that boat can move. That boat probably can stay right there and be like the one in Turks and Caicos that just where people is be flipping off now.
Right,
you know what I talking about?
Right. They call it Greek ship in Bimini.
Bimini got two of them.
Yeah.
All right, then. So you
know what I'm saying?
All right. So
I feel you on that, though, but I say the same thing. I didn't think of no way, because my American friends sent it to me, too. Hey, bro, what you think of that? I was like, first of all, the Bahamas, I don't care what no one say, but we pirates. We pirates. But like you say, what's the environmental impact of that ship? Who's to say the people on the ship and you tell them, hey, this the run aground, bro, that's it. Y'all can care whatever y'all want.
I heard something like that.
Because at the end of the day in America, everything is insurance.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Where they could sit there for 30 years and everything in there just rot. But we talking about the Bahamas, where everything is imported, so supplies are limited.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? You got to make best of what it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And even from another perspective too, I saw someone from Abaco on the ground saying that boat was actually there for a couple of days, and it was only until they started to record videos of the dudes taking takes off the boat, where now all of a sudden, defense force getting sent down there to this and that. And I heard authorities were actually trying to reach Nassau to let them know that that's what's going on, but it only became news until they saw looting happening.
Sometimes that's what it take, dog. It gotta go a little viral for somebody to do something about it,
which is crazy. Speaking of viral, Vocab video is so jokey.
I see it, but
this way has to be stopped.
Right away.
What?
I don't know, man.
So I see him because I see him make a post first on Facebook, right? That's like a.
Are you gonna go do that?
Yeah, he's saying y'all don't want me to go out, but go do. You know what I'm saying?
But hilarious though. It's funny, but it ain't funny when it comes to the the real vibe of it.
Right,
like, you know
right.
what I mean? Like I get it. It was kind of jokey, but I did try to contact some of my cousins to see if they if they reap the benefits. Yeah, like they ain't answered me Bob yet, so I don't know. That might be a good thing. That might be a bad thing. Who knows?
Yeah, but shoot, like I say, I ain't feel no way with it, bro.
Yeah,
it is what it
is. What it is.
Yeah,
really. It is what it is. I know them things in short.
Exactly.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Abaco, or?
I was born there and I was there for like a year or two, and then I came over here as a baby because I talk about my family dynamic publicly now. So I'll tell you, like, I didn't grow up with my biological parents, and my mom and my dad, they was kind of going through it or whatever, and they I don't want to say. They saw it fit for me to go and live with my dad's aunt and uncle, and that's who I call mom and dad today. And I still call, of course, my parents. But
right.
Like it's that type of dynamic where, like, bro, the love is so real that this my
that's mom and dad. Yeah,
just literally people to this day. Like I mean, like I say, only shyly talk about it now publicly, but there are literally people who I grew up with who don't know that. Like
right.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like, and that's because like they saw the love, they saw the way how, of course. That's mommy and daddy. And I mean, my relationship with my biological parents is still dread. My dad actually ended up passing away in Hurricane Dorian, but my mom is still around.
Condolences.
Respect. But man, yeah, like that's how the dynamic was. So I'd go back and forth like of course, anytime when school break, it would be like either Christmas, midterm, summer, I would spend it in Abaco, either in the north or in the south, like with my daddy people or with my mommy people. Like,
right. So where you based now?
Nassau.
Okay.
Nassau.
Yeah.
And Nice.
Yeah. All right. So what's I'm sure people want to know, like, what school you to going to when you were smaller in Nassau?
And the first school I went to was Seesaw Christian Academy, that in Centerville. And I ain't gonna lie, some crazy memories came from Seesaw for sure. But after grade 3, straight to grade 12, I was at Charles W. Sanders. A lot of people know it as BBC. But yeah, bro, like I a lot of great memories in Charles W. Sanders too. Like, bro, amazing school. I mean, not knocking it, but I don't know how the school carrying on now. But at the time I was there, vocab been there too. Like, so a lot of great memories from that school. For
you always
sure.
there like same time?
It's same time, but technically he kind of left close to around the time when I was. Well, like we kind of far apart. So we was there at the same time, but we didn't know each other.
Right.
I would not be in his company,
Yeah.
basically. But that type of thing.
Yeah. When did you start doing music in a sense?
Music became a thing in grade 9, but like, and you want me to tell you, like, and I love to give flowers where and credit where it's due too, because during that time specifically, like the same way how you see with me, like how we spoke about off the record, like when going to the schools and stuff like that, blah blah blah. The popular artist them at that time was Father Ferdo, like that I talking about.
Right.
Father Ferdo and Pons and them, like they was these dudes were setting up their computer webcam and making songs just off of playing instrumentals in the background, and people didn't know that. So like, I remember around that time when they was starting what they was doing, and honestly, like I was inspired by that, bro. Like I remember being on big up to my friend Michael Johnson. At the time, I was on his basketball court. We were shooting hoops or whatever, and I was like, "Boy, I want to do that, Like I want to rap, bro." Like, and he was like, "But I believe you could do it or whatever, like that." And but that Christmas, I wrote Muggle. Muggle was my first song. I wrote that, and then January 12th, which is coincidentally my girl's birthday, I ended up releasing it in 2015. So at the time I was 14 when Muggle came out. Yeah, bro.
9th grade.
9th grade, and because I turned 15 that same month, but technically since it dropped January 12th, and January 26th was my birthday. So I was technically 14 at the time, but I promise you, in the matter of days, but like when I put that on Facebook, it was just like support, bro. Like, and the crazy thing what blew my mind was that I was a really shy, like reserved person, didn't really have much friends in school. So like, and then too, like I mentioned with basketball, I was into ball a lot too. So when I remember when we first had gone to BA, it was weird seeing the kids at BA knowing who I was at the time. Mind you, I telling you, this was in a matter of days, bro. And then I realized even people around the school, like in cheering the grades higher than me was like, oh, sing the song. I was like, mother sick, like, what's really happening right now? And but so she went viral fully when I did a performance too on Sports Day. And that was the video that my former managers ended up seeing, and they presented me with an artist development contract. And what we did, because mind you, when I recorded Muggle, I literally recorded with a Samsung J1, voice noted. And then I replayed the instrumental on a laptop, and I sent that audio to DJ Sean, who now plays on 100 Jams, and he put the audio to that and basically like produced it type of way. And fast forward, that was the audio that everybody knew before I actually re-recorded it. After I ended up meeting my former managers that summer, we re-recorded it and released it, and that's what the audio that everybody knows now and hears now.
But so
that's
imagine
how it started, boy.
How was it recording our song and then going to school the next day?
What?
Dog, like
you said you in 9th grade, like man.
But I want you to see, bro. Like, and that's one thing I appreciate about child abuse and is like the type of dynamic and community that was, because it was. I definitely had a lot of people in the school who didn't know me personally before, but who showed that they was proud of that fact. But like, you know, like I had a lot of support in school. And the funniest thing too, like getting into my career and stuff like that, after being in the industry for a while, I noticed that it was always funny whenever school finally did reopen, because when the new students came and they saw me walking around, it was always like this starstruck type vibe.
Like this way you go here for real, man. They thought this was a joke.
And it would always happen. Literally, it happened even teachers.
Oh,
it was one year, even a teacher, like I'll never forget it. I ain't gonna mention who, right? But it was one class that had gone in one time. The first oh Lord, they might put 2 and 2 together. But anyway, first time I had gone to the math class, and the teacher, when she was letting, you know, when everybody introduced themselves, when it came to me, she looked at me and she just sat smiling, burst out laughing and things like that. She was like, oh, I know you. I was like, wow, Jed. Like, but then at that point in time, funny enough, my classmates were used to me, because some of them, because a lot of us, we stayed at the school just like how I started in grade 3 and continued on. A lot of my classmates literally know me as a Atreyu, like they know me before all of it. So it's like it was like really and truly like a family vibe, bro. So and then the ones, of course, after the first semester or whatever, they'd get used to me, and you know, again, bro, just always just like this community family vibe.
Right.
It was dread.
Right.
But juggling it as an extracurricular was interesting, because I'll always remember I had a show in Freeport. One of my first shows traveling to the island was in Freeport, where I was opening up for Christopher Martin, and Jahem was on the show too. And literally, like, let's say how today is like the weekend, but I had a show today and Monday I had Christmas exams, because I remember that was sometime in December. It was like, well, mother sick, Chad. Like, like I got to do exams on Monday, and I just came from a show. Like, it was crazy, bro. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy dealing with that in school, and
then just riding a hike, because I don't think people know, like, but in America, you know, parents don't really emphasize the importance of academics, but Bahamas,
that's serious.
What?
Yeah, that's serious.
Now you sitting down trying to figure out how you could convince your parents, like, hey, I gotta go do this. And I didn't study, and I prepared for exams. I know exams on Monday, and I didn't do everything I need to do so I could go.
And I promise you, that's exactly how it was. Not only, and it was crazy, because one thing I appreciate about my former managers, Charlie Brown, in reality, was it was like that from my parents, and then it was also always like that from them too. So they were keen on me being like in school doing the things that I supposed to do in that aspect, for sure. So I definitely get the chafing, like I say, from the parents, and then same thing with my managers too. Like, it was like, but school is important. Do school.
Right. So you say your former manager.
Like that. Well, Exile Media Group was the label, and of course I wasn't the only artist on the label as well. It was actually a few artists that was on the label. You had Father Fred, you had Spicy D, also had Shad Fur. A lot of people didn't know that Shad Fur was also on the label. Another artist, Maestro. Funny enough, early on in it, Ken Vaughn, they know him as TikTok Daddy now. He was also part of Exile early on.
Yeah, I know TikTok Daddy.
Right? And so we separated in terms of the business dynamic with me and Exile Media in about 2000. I think it was like 2018 or 19. Actually 19. It was 2019 because I know I was out of school for like a year after that because I graduated 2018.
Okay.
And it was just time. It was just time because I felt like not only because of certain things, but I felt like I had gotten enough knowledge to be able to do it myself in a sense, or do it independently. Because again, bro, like a lot of what I know and the way how I present myself in the industry right now is because I always attribute it to the mentorship that I got while being in school and being at that impressionable age where learning about the things of the industry. Like they were my teachers, bro, and they were the people that got me to the understanding of what's important, what's not important, how to conduct yourself, even when it comes to stage shows, how to conduct yourself when it comes to speaking publicly and all these things. Like it's because of them. So that dismantled in about 2019. But I still, still cool with them, still talk with them here and there. Still actually also at times link them on advice about certain things too. Right. So yeah, but around that time.
Right.
Not about it at all.
Yeah, I remember you were in a group or?
Yeah, so it was interesting enough. It wasn't a group, but we would usually perform together. So it's almost like we just came as like, I wouldn't want to just say a package deal for lack of a better word, but like if I, like for example, I remember doing the show that I mentioned in Freeport by myself. So sometimes we perform by ourselves, but like certain shows we do together. Like I remember one time we opened up for Alkaline and Cranium, and all three of us did it together. And then there's other times where, for example, like with the label dynamic, when we opened up for Migos, when they was down there, it was just me and Fred. And then it's like, so sometimes it's all three of us, sometimes it's just one of us, sometimes, you know what I mean? Everybody used to have their own thing going on. But when we come together, truthfully, whenever we came together, all three of us, like, bro, we definitely gave a super dynamic show vibe, but it wasn't a group. We just always was together on that type of vibe.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's the one he had the I don't like mine.
No, it's Father Ferdo, and then it's Father Fred. Fred was the one who sang. I'm not sure if you remember. Whoop whoop out of Tingo.
And
then he's also the artist that's on Teeth with me and Ronnie Butler. That is me on the first verse, and Father Fred is on the second verse. Where he say, "My old lady, whom one day baking one Johnny cake." That's Father Fred on the second verse.
Ronnie Butler.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah,
that roll us right into that.
Yeah.
But how you pull it off?
See, and that's the thing again why I appreciate and attribute so much of who I became and the artist that I've been able to be cultivated to be, because that was all because of my management, bro. Like, funny enough, I remember when we were working on the song, when we had the instrumental and was working on it in studio, we didn't hear who was on the hook, and we didn't get a chance to perform with Ronnie at the time because he was kind of like still like semi bedridden, but also like in a wheelchair and stuff like that. So they went to him to record, and so they went to him to record his piece, and we record our vibe separate, but we didn't know who was going to be on the chorus. All we knew was the concept. We had the instrumental, and I'll never forget it. Bigger to my boy Isaiah Pedican. I remember when they actually finally told us that he was going to be on the song. I remember like going to school that next day, freaking right out, because I was like, mother sick, bro. Like Ronnie Butler, dog. Like that like I knew at that point that it was going to be something very monumental, but I didn't realize fully at that age even yet, because I still grasping it, bro. Like the fact that bro, this man in the Caribbean Hall of Fame, like, and I ain't saying that like exaggerating, like he's officially, of course, like in the Caribbean Hall of Fame. There is a Caribbean Hall of Fame, and he's in there. Like, put 50 years in the game, dog. Like, I know a little bit of time.
He deep in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He deep in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, bro.
At a time when social media or ain't nothing like that was around, like,
nothing.
How did it even spread? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like cheers.
That's hard copies.
Hard copies, hard CDs, but
records.
Grow up on Ronnie Butler.
Yeah, bro.
Jeez.
It was like, I always say, like, yeah, bro, that's every time people ask, it's an honor to be able to say got a chance to work with him.
Yeah.
And before he passed through, he wanted to do more work. So one thing I appreciate about someone like him being at the pinnacle, well, far, like being at the level what he was at, it was so refreshing to see him be so open to working with young talent. Because you know, like how we talk about off the record, like gatekeepers and things, like he was not one of them. Like he and I also always hold on to his philosophy too, where he was like, hey, Bahamian music is music made by Bahamian, but like that was like, like trust me, if you ever got a chance to sit down and talk to this man, like you would realize Mother Free is like, you would see why he would be open to working with young artists and things. He had a forward thinking.
Yeah, that's what greatness is do.
Real.
That's what chasing greatness is do. I introduced that with that, like the whole thing with that when I was introducing you. That's what greatness is do. Greatness is open.
Real.
And when you show yourself too, you won't feel threatened by the next generation. You can't feel threatened
because you know whenever you chase greatness, you just want that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you just want great. It doesn't matter how it come.
For real.
You get what I'm saying? It got to just make it great. You see what I'm saying?
I totally agree, bro.
When you don't think of yourself that way, that's where the hindering come in.
Yeah.
Because it's not even that you can't see it, you can't see yourself in it.
Yeah.
You
feel like it's leaving you.
Oh, leaving me.
Yeah.
But when you really chase, you can't leave me alone. You can leave me alone. Like, know what about to happen.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? You can't leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But like, that's crazy to like to say you work with Ronnie Butler. Like, that would have given me some confidence out of this world. But I ain't tell you no lie.
But trust me, it most certainly did, but because it was like, yeah, bro, like this the same guy who we've been growing up listening to, like you say, and then again, like we call this guy the godfather of Bahamian music, and it's like he agreed to work with us, and as you know, he didn't agree to work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people could say like, So I'm more than humbled and grateful and honored to have an opportunity like that for sure. But that had nothing to do with me. Like that was all Charlie Brown in reality for sure. Like and I always grateful for them for that too.
Right. And you say you should be in the Caribbean. Give me a top 5.
In what, the Caribbean or Bahamian music?
Give me a top 5.
Top 5, like see, because I need to know.
All right then. So okay, we could do this like this then.
All right.
We could do this like this. You could give me a top 5, and then you could give me a top 5 in the Bahamas.
Okay.
If they match, if some match, then cool. But
okay, my top 5. That's kind of hard. But nonetheless, I'll do it. My top 5 would be for sure. Sean Paul is up there. For sure, Vibes Cartel is up there. I have J. Cole up there. I also have that's 3. in no specific order. But who else I have up there? I also have this is hard because I listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music, but nonetheless, I'd also say I got Biggie up there as well. I got who else up there? I got Bob Marley for sure.
That's 5.
Oh, that's 5.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. That's the.
And from my Bahamian music perspective,
and the Bahamian music, it doesn't have to be rake and scrape. It can be raking, of course.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to just, it can be a Bahamian. Would you say Ronnie Butler?
Like a Bahamian that makes music, bro.
Okay, so, that's it.
Yeah, like in that aspect, I appreciate you for saying that because guess what? I have to make some honorable mentions, but my top 5 would be George Simonette, Ronnie Butler, of course, Jay Mitchell. I gotta put Phil Stubbs up there. And I gotta put Papa Smurf up there. And the reason why I put Papa Smurf up there as well is because, I mean, this dude, like, I literally have memories of listening and hearing his music on the way to school and thing, bro. Like, she's my LOL, the high vista poinciana, my Bahamian girl, that's just why I love her. Like, and then he have so many other classics too. But honorable mention, I gotta mention for sure Smokey 007. I gotta mention who else? Gotta mention dudes like Porter the Poet. I gotta mention who else? I gotta mention KB. And the reason why I say
why you say
you wanna know why I say is because in that aspect of what we talking about right now, Bahamians that make music, like he is one of them who only want to see it done a certain type of way for it to be considered a certain type of thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, and guess what? Not just him, but there are lots of heavy, influential, and prominent people in the music industry in our country who will not consider even me Bahamian, or I'm not Bahamian enough to be in certain spaces when it comes to certain shows, or like, you see what I say? Like on a cultural show, like you have certain people who don't consider what I do Bahamian, no matter how much dialect I use in my music. Like, and
how?
It's quite literally just because of the sound. Like you have
What
a lot
sound?
of, and that's what's funny. Like you have a lot of people who, and that's why whenever it comes to Bahamian, the conversation about Bahamian music, I like to make sure, decipher, and let people know, like, hey, Bahamian music, like we have Bahamian genres, but Bahamian music consists of course, our indigenous genres, and now we have created subgenres, which would be then Bahamian rap, Bahamian reggae, Bahamian R&B. You see what I'm saying?
What would you consider what you're doing?
What I'm doing is Bahamian dancehall, Bahamian zest, and also I might dabble into like the traditional like reggae type vibes, because back in time my song is like a reggae instrumental, and I also dabble of course in rap here and there, but right now I'm focused on very Caribbean centric sounds. So you'll hear dancehall, you may hear some soca, you may hear like some, you know, rake and scrape influenced songs, but what I do is like Caribbean music. So it's like Bahamian dancehall, Bahamian whatever genre. Because the thing about what I do is you will never be able to wonder, like especially from the instrumentation point of view, like what this is. Like when you hear it, you'll be like, yeah, but it sounds like a dancehall vibe. Right. And also even more specific, like if it is a soca, like big up to my producer who I work with, Don Ryder. Like what I doing right now is like doing a lot of music on some bashment soca type vibes. So if you hear the way how soca is done in Barbados, like it has a strong dancehall influence, I'd say, and you could hear the difference in the vibe. So yeah, like you have a lot of like subgenres, and then you have, you know, the indigenous genres. However, they don't consider like even like what Papa Smurf do, they don't consider that Bahamian, and it's just because it ain't rake and scrape, and it's so dumb to me because guess what?
I don't like that.
The thing that, because they always been trying to have conversation, like they try to compare it to food or try to compare it to, and when they say compare it to food, they'd be like, if sushi is it still Bahamian? And it's like, yeah, bro, you have Bahamian sushi. Like if you put conch in that. And that shit, like,
especially if you prepare the conch, how we prepare the conch, and then put it in there.
You see what I'm saying? Because
then you got
what?
Bahamian sushi, like,
and then you know what not dumb it down, but you know how I break it down in that aspect too. Nobody ever has to question where sushi comes from. Right? We know where sushi comes from, but the way how we add our influence into it. If you put some conch in that, then yeah, bro, this is now Bahamian sushi, just like K-pop. Right. We know where pop come from. But when Korean people make pop, it's called K-pop.
That's it.
But that's a perfect analogy.
You see what I'm saying? Because guess what? Sometimes they speak English in K-pop, and sometimes they don't. But at the end of the day, because they Korean people making pop music, they call that K-pop. If you ask Korean people to play some music for them from their country, they ain't gonna go only to the folk music of what they make. They can also play you some like that's
but see, like
you know what I mean? That's K-pop.
It goes with. I think a lot of that. It goes with how far someone's mind goes. Like, well, who are you trying to really attract? Like, you get what I'm saying? Because
I the disconnect between the older and the younger generations. That's what that really is boiled down to.
Because I feel like I don't see nothing wrong. I think like fusion, like the fusing things together is beneficial. Like, you get what I'm saying?
It is. And like we was talking about too off the record, when it comes to Afro beats, it's like, yo, most definitely there's a documentary on Afro beats where, bro, that's what they realized they had to do to crack the code. We gotta fuse this 5-beat countdown. We gotta go pop, 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 pop with either hip hop or something else. And it's working.
Yeah.
And now it's working.
Because I feel like that puts you in different breaths, dog. And the music has to be easy on air. Like it has to sound familiar, but at the same time sound new. So like a breath of fresh air. And when you do that with fusion, that's how you bring in other audiences that wouldn't normally listen to this type of music. Now they're open to it because they're saying, I don't know why. I feel like there's only 2 types of music, good and bad.
Fox.
You know what I'm saying? we deep into it, so we'll be like, oh, it's because of this or this part of the beat. But people who ain't deep into music, they just like, I like it. Why you like it? I don't know. It sounds good.
And guess what? A lot of even as artists, sometimes we get so critical about how we create music. But like you say, the average listener even ain't thinking about, oh, but this chord progression or this and this that. Like, but the average Bahamian who listen to Rake and Scrape ain't on no type of vibe or no level where they saying, okay, this ain't Bahamian because ... Like, no, bro. Like, they even when it comes to Rake and Scrape, and that's what's funny about the conversation around that and why it's so like regressive rather than progressive, because now you also have people in Turks and Caicos who making Rake and Scrape.
And I feel like they appreciate the Bahamian music a lot more down there too.
But guess what? Don't call man-in-law Bahamian music, because Turks people will run up in your head for that.
Wow.
Because that's Turks music.
Right.
That's why when it comes now to us describing these vibes, we have to describe it by the genre. It's Rake and Scrape, whether it's from Turks or whether it's from Cat Island or whether it's from Nassau. When we hear that with the guitar lick how it is, it's Rake and Scrape. But then guess what? You have different, like with different type of, like for example, I'll use soca for an example. You have power soca, you have groovy soca, and then you have bashment soca. And so it's, at the end of the day, it's soca, but some of the BPMs might be different, or some of the vibes on it might be different. So like how you got neo soul, and then you got like R&B, like it's sometimes the vibe might be similar, but it's things that make it different. And sometimes it might be the instrumentation, sometimes it might simply be the person who making it. So yeah,
right. So like I remember Munroe had a speech, and he spoke about something. I can play this clip, show you the real quick before I get into my question. You see, so
hey, that's a national treasure there. You see that too.
Oh my goodness, boy! Listen to me. Let me tell you something. You know, you see me nights, late nights in the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, bro.
Still watching them sermons.
I used to be watching them sermons.
I don't blame you.
I'm telling you, bro. Like that's different than me, bro. Like like different, you know. See there.
Show you your vision, but never tell you how you're gonna get there.
What about?
And there's a reason why. God will show you your vision, but never tell you how you're gonna get there. And there's a reason why. Because your vision is a glimpse of your end. Between the end and where you are is called the plan. The plan is the process that takes you to your destination. God will tell you your end, like he showed Joseph.
But if he didn't tell Joseph,
he's sitting on the throne, ruling, feeding his brothers. That's the end. God showed you your end. He showed each one of you your end. Everybody got a dream. But he never tells you the plan. Why? Because if he ever told you the plan, you would tell him, forget the destination.
Right.
Because the plan is to prepare you for the destination. So he takes you all these different changes to develop you. If Joseph knew that he had to go through a pit and prison to get to that throne, he told God, forget the throne. So your plan is secret to God. Right now where you are may not be where you want to be, but it's a part of the plan. If you lost your house, or you lost your spouse, or a baby died, don't panic. It's all part of the process. God's working on character development, patience development, vision development. He's preparing you for what he has prepared for you.
Right. So he said, like, wait, I know what you're doing. And like, and I know what you up against right now. That's the plan. That's the end of the When you, because all us do that. I write rhymes before too. Like when you first write your rhymes and stuff, like where you saw yourself, like where you saw yourself being, like in a sense.
You want to know something?
Like end goal per se.
And I glad you premised that with that video, because at the time, and especially we talking about at 40 and 15, if you talk about at the beginning, bro, even if we just talk about a 2-year period, I at no point when I dropped Muggle thought to myself, yeah, but so soon I gotta have a song with Ronnie Butler. Or like soon but I gotta open up for Migos. Or soon but I gotta, that was not in my head. Nothing that I could have found in my head to say like, yeah, but this is what is going to happen, or by doing this and doing that is what's going to. Now as an adult, if I be honest, I do have plans in my head to say like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that, and through these certain works and stuff like that, this is what's going to happen, or that's what's going to happen. but I can't say like while writing certain songs, I had certain intentions in mind, to be honest. Other than the fact that, okay, like for example, like what you say most recently, I've been very intentional in how I make music, where I say like, you know what? I'm making this to write a hit. Whatever this hit do is what this hit do.
Right.
But like, for example, I never would have thought that my first placement would have been on a song that I like. It was on a song that I didn't expect. Like, and mind you, one of the songs that have actually one of the least views or one of my least streamed songs, because there was this show that was being filmed in the Bahamas called Johnson's. Big up to the whole team, Risha Archibald and the whole team, right? So and big up to Conk Boy Films as well. So and Lovato Stuff's whole team, right? So when the team was when they was looking for an artist, and I was recommended, and they were looking through my discography, they chose one of my songs called How They Go.
Right.
And it was funny to me because I was like, boy, I would have never expect like y'all to choose that song. And if I be honest, I promise you, when I made that song, the most I was thinking about is, okay, I writing this and I know people could relate. That's all I was thinking about. Like, all right, people could relate.
Hey, but what makes a hit?
Exactly.
Relatability.
I'm trying to tell you, like that's what makes the hit. So you kind of had the formula before you even know you had it.
But I wasn't thinking like, yeah, but this could be. I could perform this song on a TV show that could be on Punk's TV. Like, no, but I did not. My mind was in that. Like, even like I say, even now, like I didn't think that we was gonna be able to even do something like this, because it's like sometimes you really don't get this. Like, it's like a light at the end of the tunnel, and all you're thinking about is the light. Like, all you're thinking about is the light. You ain't really thinking about, okay, too much of what could happen or what ain't gonna happen. Like, and I try to also tunnel my vision and focus on a certain vibe too. Like, like we was talking about in the car on the way here too. Like, positive mindset. Like, it's a serious thing. But so I've been like really trying to focus not trying, but I've been really focusing my mindset to say like, hey, forget everything that may be going around, like noise in the market, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to accomplish. And that's all I working toward. And
but I can say this though, I think the clarity of your speech in the music, you know, like the simplicity of your cadence, you know what I mean? Like we was talking about off the record, but like the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the ABC.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like how those cadences is so memorable. Like you kind of like tap into those type of spaces in a sense where your music is kind of like for two to toothless.
But and guess what? Just like how you say too, when it comes to covering ground, it all depends on what your intention is. Because guess what? I think even for someone like Nas, for example, Nas could write you the most complicated song and complicated verse, right? One of his most successful songs. I know I can't be what I want to be.
Right.
If I work hard at it.
Right. Simplicity.
I am what I want to be.
Right. Simplicity.
Yeah.
Simple. And so much so that he even decided to, of course, put kids on the vibe, because he had an intention to say like, okay, I want this song to be relatable to everybody. And,
but
that's all it is.
When kids hear themselves singing that, they can say, well, I can sing it just like that. They sound like me. I see that with my children too. Like, my little boy, anytime he see another kid, like if I on social media or the TV, his eyes is light up like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I could be doing that too.
Representation, dog. Like it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. But mind you, I've definitely also, like you just mentioned too, I've been intentional about how I make music, because I say to myself, to be honest as well, not even to say like, oh, I want it to be palatable to kids and I want it to be palatable to adults, because I do have music that, and this is how I think that most artists should decipher him, like when it comes to this thing, because first of all, everybody ain't gonna like your vibe.
No,
everybody ain't gonna like your vibe.
That's how it go.
You're not gonna get everybody.
That's how it go. They got songs. They got songs on the radio right now. They play. I like it. Y'all too hate it.
You see, they say
it on the radio. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So this is how it is.
Wow.
As an artist, you gotta be comfortable with that part of it.
Right.
Real. And how I've been categorizing my music very recently, when I do make certain songs, like I promise you, it's rated M. Like I don't want kids to listen to certain songs that I've been releasing recently, because some of them is explicit.
Right.
And I think that's two reasons why, why we have parental advisories and stuff like that. So I have certain songs that, but this is for adults. This is like I always like to rate it like video games. Like, okay, this rated M, this rated T, and this rated E. Well, okay, like anybody for this one. Right. But then for this one, it's like, no, I want this to be for adults.
Right.
Just like most artists, it's like, I can't stop your kid from listening to my vibe unless you
right. Yeah.
But I know who my audience is in terms of what I'm pushing, what I'm targeting. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I've been categorizing it. I've just been very intentional about, okay, when I do this, I'm doing this for adults. Or when I do this, I'm doing this for this. Or when I'm doing this, I'm doing this for the ladies. Or when I do this, I'm doing this for the dudes or whatever like that. But
and then you like, of course, you say you tapping into all these genres and stuff. Like, you very versatile. And you say you tapped into like the hip hop. Like you dabble with hip hop. You familiar with Geechi Gully?
You want to know something? And not to toot my own horn, right? But I discovered that like couple years ago, like probably in my last year in school, because I don't know how I get on the weird side of YouTube, but the video that a lot of people love to reference now with the woman talking about the baked macaroni.
Right. I saw that.
Long time, and I remember like seeing that, and I was like, "Yo, you know what's so interesting? It's so interesting how when it comes to the relatability that you speak of, a lot of times we think that we're like so unique that we're like this alien that nobody will understand, like phone home, whatever, blah blah blah. Like no, but like we come from somewhere, and we also shared cultures with a lot of different people. And for example, we're not the only ones who say boy. We ain't the only ones who say bungie. We ain't the only ones who say tote. Like these are words that are not just only, even like brought up seat. Brought up seat is a Caribbean word. Like you can say that to a Trinidadian and they know exactly what you mean. Jamaican, Guyanese, same thing. You can tell them, like, and matter of fact, quick caveat, that was also just added into the Oxford Dictionary. So it's like, they ain't the only ones who can know what it means now too. So it's like, bro, like, when it comes to the Gullah Geechi, like, that don't surprise me even for a minute when I also look into the history of it and the slaves and or the enslaved people, like It's like, okay, I get it. Like, it makes sense that they make it okra soup in South Carolina, right?
Yeah,
South Carolina, like,
Charleston,
it makes sense.
Charleston.
So
I say that even from like a musical standpoint, like I feel, I feel like I want to kind of like come on a point. And your people, I want kind of like try to match something there with Bahamians in a sense, bro. Like they tell, like, because I feel like I think like they can be like a bridge.
And guess what? You want to know something? And it's crazy because a lot of times we think about things where it's like, okay, we want to see it happen, but a lot of that is already happening. Like, you know how much Bahamian videos that went viral that literally you have people in the comments saying, "You from Charleston? You sound like you from Charleston." Or blah, 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 blah. Or when a Charleston person video go viral, the Bahamians in the comments
but
like,
they
sound like you from Andres. Like, oh Lord, like, what's going on?
Right.
So, like, it's been happening. And also even with big up to artists like SD and them and thing who literally getting into this space of, okay, like they being known very strongly and around America. And it's like the ones who, of course, know that she's from the Caribbean, but then you've got the people from Charleston saying, "Hold on, babe,
you ain't from Charleston. Ain't no way you ain't from Charleston."
Exactly, because they're believe it or not, a lot of the work that we want to see be done is happening low key right now. So, like when it comes to bridging the gap between the diaspora, not just in America but around the Caribbean, it's happening. That's why literally we taking over TikTok. Like we're known as the country right now with the best school uniforms. Like that's what the whole Caribbean diaspora understands us to be. Like they trying to they still trying to figure out. But you know how much of my Caribbean friends like big up the travel with Zoe. She messaged me and she was like, "Why does every Bahamian have a coin chain? Like, what? Like, how much do they cost?" And I was like, "Well, they cost XYZ amount of US dollars or whatever like that." And they was like, well, why?" And I was like, "But it's just a cultural why.
It's a cultural thing.
It's just a cultural thing. Like
the next step is them trying to find out how they could get the coin."
Exactly.
But that's the next step. I promise you.
Hey, you wouldn't believe. I see a Jamaican say that the other day. Like, but he saying how they had the 2-day hot to the Bahamas because, like, he said back in the day it used to be, but Jamaica had the music, the dances, and everything. He like, but right now the Bahamas carrying for the music with the dances. Like
And
that
then,
school dance and they school clothes. Like they killing it with
bro.
that, boy.
And you want to know something so crazy to even make it a more like serious vibe? We are also being movers and shakers when it comes to certain artists' careers.
Right.
RDX, I don't think if I and I would love to be corrected if I'm wrong in the comments. Let me know, but I don't think RDX ever trended as much as they did very recently on TikTok and on social media. How they did most recently when the Bahamians was doing that song doing the dance to the song that they was doing it to the RDX set it up and make it brrr. I don't think that RDX trended. Of course, we know them to be who they were. Everybody wanted to do the Koch dance, whatever like that, blah, blah, blah. We know, we remember. But in this time right now, like that song has literally gone international and global to a different level since after Bahamians have started trending on that. And not just artists like RDX, but Vybz Kartel. Bro, that rhythm with the Get Them Reggie vibe. It was only until you saw these certain trends happen where you saw certain songs from certain artists like actually trending on these social media apps. And of course, we know how valuable TikTok trends could be for an artist's career. So it's like, bro, if you have niggas right now who know that once a Bahamian start trending on your vibe, yes, you got some checks coming through. Like we are literally movers and shakers in that aspect right now. Like so, yeah, bro. Like we have not just a place in this like whole global conversation or whatever, but we are it, bro. Like we are it, and we've been it too. But I think it's just been the certain avenues that we just have to tap into, or being intentional about certain things. That's all. But we there, bro. We there. The bridge is almost fully built. The bridge is almost fully built.
What do you think? What do you think's missing for part of the? You think it's a hold back? Like you think it's some barriers that need the that's holding it up?
Gatekeepers.
I don't think the proverbial gatekeepers exist no more, because the fact that, like I talk about with how you could just pick up your phone and say, okay, I can make this TikTok and then you could go viral. Like no gatekeeper could stop that no more. No matter how they feel, no matter what they do, they can't stop that no more. So I think all that is required of us in this industry is to more so like just be, again, intentional about, okay, if you say you pushing things forward for the culture, then do it for the culture, not like try to put a price tag on certain things or try to like not give access to the next upcoming artist and blah, 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 blah. Because guess what? Like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to mentorship, like if anybody was to revere or say they appreciate or grateful for the artist that I am, I'm only who I was able to be because of mentorship. And if we look at any industry when it comes to Boys to Men, you wouldn't get Boys to Men if it wasn't for New Edition. And I ain't saying that just proverbially. Like it was literally I don't remember which group member from New Edition that discovered them, but it's like you had people who would discover certain artists, put them on, and now boom, now you have this. Like, for example, like when it comes to Bounty Killer, you wouldn't get Vybz Kartel if it wasn't for Bounty Killer. You wouldn't get Popcorn if it wasn't for Vybz Kartel. Look how monumental all three of those artists were. And things like that is so important. So I hope that the elders in the industry are trying to be more intentional about facilitating the next upcoming act, because like we was talking about again too off the record, big up to Avi, but even for when Avi was a young artist coming up in the rake and scrape at one point, you had certain people who wasn't really all for it, especially if they ain't got nothing to do with it, and like in the back end, like it's like, okay, you over there, but they feel like, okay, like they like you taking something from them by being like by existing, and it's like, no, but like to like bring that person up and try to give that person all the resources they need to succeed, because at the end of the day, all us is one, and then two, all us need each other, babe. Like we need each other. Like I need the knowledge that you have from your experience, and I also know that you need my strength in terms of like my youth. Like there's things that I could do that you simply can't do no more. You see
KRS-One, what KRS-One say?
Yeah, but I don't know if you ever seen that, but KRS-One say if older people would learn from the younger people, when they go around other older people, they'll be that much further ahead.
Facts.
And if younger people took what they learned from the older people,
they'd be further
when
ahead.
they go around other younger people, they'll be that much further ahead, which in all actuality means we need each other to grow
real.
and propel.
I never see that before, but I agree with that because I feel like mind you, I like just how we sitting down talking. I've sat down with a lot of the older artists. Well, not a lot to say like every, but some good ones who be open to sitting down and talking to me. Like I promise you right now, if I was to pick up my phone and call Ancient Man, we wouldn't come off the phone like that because we sit down, we talk for hours, and then you have other people like God rest her dead, Peanuts Taylor, who we used to talk a lot, and then Jay Mitchell as well, who I mentioned too. Like we talk a lot, like, and they would tell me about these things and tell me about certain things that they dealt with and just bestow knowledge. And I'm so grateful for all the artists who was open, even part of the poet. Like I remember I messaged him the other day. I was like, "But what you think about this? Like if I go do this, like blah blah blah," and he sent me a nice long voice note and was like, "All right, bro. Like when it comes to this, blah 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 blah." People like that I appreciate because, like you say now, when it comes to going in spaces with other peers or whatever, it's like I teaching them now what the vibe is and things like that, and that's what it's supposed to be, bro. Iron sharpen iron, each one teach one for real.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree.
Shout out to Porter too.
Yes, babe. Legend in this one, bro.
Yeah, very much so.
So what you got going on now? Like, what's the course of action? What you working on? What you focus on?
Well, my main focus is definitely promoting this recent single that I just dropped called Abaco. Definitely doing some things with that, right? And very much more too. I also do acting, so I've been either in like short films or theater plays and stuff like that, and my album has just finished getting recorded, and right now it's just getting mixed and mastered. Big up to my boy Don Ryder out of Barbados. He's doing the work on that right now, and as soon which I'm not rushing when it comes to that. So as soon as he has completed the full process of the mixing process, is when I'll be able to give a date on the release date and stuff like that. And most definitely there'll be a listening party and everything like that for us to, wop. So that's the work that's going on right now.
Wait, so you say it out yet, or
No, it ain't out yet. So it's in the works. So as in the songs are done, the songs are completed, but it's getting mixed and mastered right now. So as soon as that's done, then I'll have a release date.
Oh, okay. No release date yet.
Yeah, no release date yet, but she done.
Cool. Yeah, man. That's what's up, dog.
She done.
You got anything else?
Anything we should look out for on that project?
Oh boy.
Like anybody you work with that?
Well, most definitely. Like I say, like Don Ryder, I gotta give a big special shout out to him because he did a lot of production on that one. Big up to PYNJ, he did some production on that too, and look out for it because, like Don, I gotta say again, I appreciate him a lot because the work that he's done, like. I don't know if y'all know that song from Lady Lava, Bob the Builder. I am not Bob the Builder. I'm not building no man for future. Y'all know, man.
I think I hear that.
He's on the production for that. Like he produced that record, and he also produced a lot of stuff for big up to my boy Father Phyllis. He produced a lot of records for him as well too, and a lot of different artists in the industry too. So I'm excited not just for the songs but for the production value because I know that like once Don put magic on that, like you can remember this conversation and say cool. Bro, this it's a golden vibe. Like you can listen to them songs and say like bro, playing that on any type of system, you can be like bro, this is quality.
Right.
So that's all to look forward to right now. I kind of was looking forward to one or two features, but if I be honest, I don't. Do I? I have one feature with one artist on the album. His name is Frankie. He's called himself Mr. Hits, and that's a banger too on that album. So
who's some artists? Who's some artists that you haven't worked with that you look forward to working with?
Locally or internationally? Because I definitely want to. You know who I want to work with? I want to work with, most definitely, I'd love to do something with Sean Paul. I'd love to do something with, what's the, Flo Milli, bro. Like, I'd actually love to do something with Flo. I'd actually love to do something with Flo Milli because I think that her voice is just so, like, perfect the way how she, you know what I mean? And also, like, locally, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm a person too when it comes to the energy, because even though I mentioned in some names, I also don't like to force things into a certain type of way. So it's like I've sat down in studio with a lot of different artists and stuff like that or whatever, but not every time like we may have worked on music. But at the same time, it's like, you know, an artist would tell you like vibes have a lot to do with it. Like
absolutely,
vibes have a lot to do with it.
Oh, so you more? All right, I get it. You more of those. You more organic. You rather just
because that's how it works. Like very best to me. Like when we both on the same page, when we both actually into it, like it's like bro, like that's how good music is get make. Like big up to Father Phyllis, like our song. What we have Abaco, like he was down for it. I was down for it. When I sent him the verse and chorus that I had for it, he liked it. He did his verse and everything like that, and the song streaming like high, bro. Like I think that definitely have like over 1 million streams now. So like shit like that. So like so I feel like it's all about the feeling, the vibes and things like that.
Yeah, most definitely, because that's what it's transfer over on the mic. You know what I'm saying? That same vibe that you got in the room. You know, that's why some artists, they have to go back to certain neighborhoods to get that feeling back. And like, because you're trying to transfer that feeling over on the mic. That's what you have, you know? So I get it fully.
Real talk, bro. It's deep. It's deep.
Definitely. So you over there in Atlanta street show, you know, how long you over there and what you over there doing?
Well, I could be here for the weekend. My girl, she has a friend who has a wedding to this weekend. So we going there to pass through and things like that. And also, of course, you know, in the fine Bahamian fashion, gotta do some shopping. Can't go in, don't do no shopping.
Y'all fly direct or y'all come from Miami?
Come from Miami. There's a direct flight.
Yeah, but
Delta
straight there,
man.
No, but I didn't know that, boy. That's crazy.
It might be a little expensive. That's the only thing.
I gotta say, like, when I was looking for the flights, I saw JetBlue and I was like, oh, flip. Oh, okay.
Yeah. JetBlue.
You want to do a connect.
Yeah, it was.
JetBlue used to do, I think, direct, but I don't think they do it no more. Like,
but it make more sense for them to connect.
Yeah. But shoot, hey, I don't know you got anything.
Definitely more content too. I came to do so. Like I don't want you to sleep. I was itching to go outside to do a TikTok because when I look at this neighborhood, I was like, what? Like this could look perfect when I post this, bro. I was like, but man. When it comes to the industry, though, I'd most definitely say like there is like, because when you ask, you know, what's the work that you think should be done, I feel like the elders just need to be more intentional about mentorship. When it comes from an infrastructure point of view, I feel like a lot of the things that, because for example, when it comes to like you know it's a law that a Bahamian artist is supposed to open up for any show wherever.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
That's law, and the reason why that is law is at the time our first music union, because we do have a musicians and entertainers union that, well, it was the first one and then we have another one now, but the first one is the ones who ushered that in and things like that. Like when it comes to our unions and the way that they represent us as artists, I definitely feel like from an infrastructure point of view, like we need to work on how we enforce certain things more, because I feel like once we, just like how big up to Belinda Wilson and the next hotel union representative as well. Sorry him so much. I think his name is Mr. Ferguson, but I'm not sure. I don't remember his name. But most definitely I'd say that he and she are very intentional about how they like push for not just the hotel workers, but the teachers. Like you see, like the other day when she was marching, like, you know what I mean? She was trying to hold the government accountable for the things that they're supposed to do for the people. So when it comes to our union representatives, I'm hoping that soon and not later that they do what they're supposed to do when it comes to making sure that the artists get what they're supposed to get, and so that things could be enforced the way that they need to when it comes to IP, when it comes to monetization, when it comes to the way how even just like I say, enforcing and making sure the promoters do what they're supposed to do when it comes to us like being booked for shows and all these other different things, and creating the infrastructure as well, like making sure that we have things that we need, bro. Like, because it's only until when you look out, sadly, when you look in somewhere where the grass is green and you're like, hold on, so you mean to tell me that this is how a union is supposed to represent. Like when you look at countries like Canada and things, it's like, hold on, but like they out here funding other music industries, country, like and things like that, because they got the money to say, all right, yeah, boy, they doing this or they doing that. So yeah, I just hope that our union representatives do what they're supposed to do. I hope our elders do what they're supposed to do in terms of like mentorship. But yeah, but like we have so much to be proud of as a people. We have a rich history in the music industry, and it's just up to us to, again, be intentional about it. Like we have to not just say, oh yeah, but for the culture, da, 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 da. Like no, like if you're doing it for the culture, like how much are you willing to sacrifice, or what are you actually willing to, the work that you're willing to put in to make sure that we get to where we say we really want to be, you know, because it's real, bro. Like it's real. And especially since now we have so much people that have, believe it or not, we have a lot of people who've crossed that bridge that we're talking about. Like we could think about like the boy, big up to Kyle Green, who did the production on NBA Youngboy big song right now, Short Calling. Like you have a lot of people who you got one that way. Big up the Sean. You see what I'm saying? Big up the Sean Hanna. Big up the Sean Hanna, who's a amazing photographer who did like a lot of cover arts for certain people like Summer Walker and thing like that. And then you have your other brethren who you spoke of.
You got Jay Stu, just he edited the
Drake.
Drake. Oh yeah.
You got Jamie Bruce.
You got Drake video. You got the Glorilla featuring Kirk Franklin.
Big up to Jamie Bruce. He's another photographer. Big up to my boy Flip. I don't know if y'all know Kevin Cartwright. From OEU Studios. Right there off Dazwa Street. Big up to my boy Kevin, because he works out of Albany Studio, and he has production credit on Yukon. That song with Justin Bieber with Dog. You see what I'm saying? So like, bro, Bahamians.
The cars got the Tyler Perry.
You see what I'm saying? So like we have Bahamians who are doing great things and crossing these bridges. So I think now it's just for us to be intentional. It's just about being intentional. Like you have young artists who still don't know what royalty is all about. Like we gotta make sure
teaching them,
them, and we gotta make sure create the infrastructure to cultivate the next, like you say, placement, or cultivate the next Ronnie Butler. We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Right.
Yeah, but shoot, we appreciate you coming through, man. This is awesome, dog.
Dog, I appreciate this, bro, because like I say, I always was wondering, I want it to happen. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I want it to happen.
Miles Munroe.
I telling you, I happy to see it happen, bro. But speaking of that clip, you know what? One thing too, last thing I could say is the reason why I love that story so much is because a lot of people like to talk about certain things to say like, oh, but like, you know, like how people will say like they don't want to talk about certain things because they feel like it be like a bad juju or whatever. Look at that story with Joseph, bro. If you think about it, like if he didn't tell his brothers, like let's forget the fact that he said, oh, you would if he didn't know that he was going in the pit, then he wasn't gonna give whatever want to throne. What if he never told his brothers that this the dream, or he told his family about the dream? Then they would have never envy him. And then he would have never end up in the pit. And then he was gonna never end up being the governor. So sometimes we might be scared to say what we feel or feel what we strong about in our heart. But guess what? If it's for you, but at the end of the day, it's for you.
And
maybe they need to throw you in the pit.
And you say, so what you say, go right back to what you just said, what you just was saying a minute before that. We have to be what?
Intentional, dog. Intentional.
When you're intentional, you don't care about this is what I did them with. I can tell this to whoever. I can say this to whoever. I could do whatever. Like, this is what I doing.
Because some people just be scared and like, oh, they might take my idea. Oh, they might this and they might that. Like, no, but sometimes you might need to tell certain people so that they could throw you in the pit. And then when you see they saying, you could be the same king standing up and they can be coming to you asking you for food and and it can hurt you. Like Joseph too, he had to turn around and he started crying because he like, mother sick, boy, these my brothers and they don't even know this me, king. They don't even know this me. This the same way they try to kill. Like, they're like, yeah, but so I get it. I get it. But yeah, but sometimes I say that just to say like too, like, don't be scared, bro. Like to the artists out there, like, you know, don't be scared. Like it is a dog-eat-dog world. But nonetheless, you just gotta move with that confidence and move with that poise to say like, yeah, bro, like I know where I can. I know where I come from. So I know where I could go too.
Facts.
Facts.
Big.
Yeah, man. Once again, this is Talk Dat, episode 29. We got Bahamian Trae, and I go by Willie Waters.
G-Stat, TBD. Talk Dat.
You. Talk that.